Okay, I will say, before we get super excited, I don't know if I'm back. I'm just figuring it out. The last time I streamed was December 1st, and the last time I made a statement to the internet was like, oh, what was it? It was in November, right? And being very upfront, I gave myself anxiety for some reason. I don't know how I did it about being on camera. I'm not quitting. I actually really like this. I just managed to get this weird thing about looking at myself. I just suddenly hated it. I was recording a video to say that I was going to be back soon. To say like, oh, I'm a little late, but I'm going to be back. I have no clue why I am the way that I am. I've decided to just, my brain's decided to just get anxiety about being on camera. Like, I've been trying to get used to being on camera in like Discord calls. I was doing voice training thing with Claire. Don't ask, that has gone, it's bad. I was doing that, but like, I got to the point of like, I can't look at myself. In December, well, at the start of, when was it? I'm gonna quote my psychiatrist with this one. In about December or so, he popped around and I told him about my life and everything. And finally, I made that cry. Oh, you know how, dude, it's a mark of pride for me that now I've made every therapist tear up. Every single therapist I've ever had has needed to reach for a tissue. You don't know how good that feels, chat. It's awesome. But yeah, I'll quote him directly. After I talked about life and everything, he went like, we're going to need to change maybe some of your medication. He said, you really scare me, and you're going to kill yourself within a week if you don't get on a higher dose of antidepressants. So I'm on a higher dose of antidepressants now, and I've been fine for a good month. Yikes. Yeah, sorry. Here's your warning that you might hear some shit that are out there. I've been clinically depressed for, I don't know. I was depressed when I was younger, like from about 15 through like 20. And then I did okay for like a year or two. And then I had, oh man, this feels really nice to talk about. Sorry, I don't know why it's like, this is genuinely like a really big thing off my chest. So I was depressed like from when I was 15 through like 20. And I'd planned to, I've told this story before, but I had planned to when I was 20, and I didn't, obviously, which was cool. I got my 20th birthday happened. I cried a lot because I was very happy. Before any of this goes on, let me quickly, everyone take note of, I have a fantastic circle of friends around me and a support network, and my family is awesome, and everyone is supporting me and very, very nice. I am completely taken care of, and you should not worry about me at all. I'm in a really, really, really privileged spot where I haven't worked for 3 months, chat. I went, wow, my mental health is bad. I'm worried. And I stopped working. You know how few people there are that can do that? I'm incredibly lucky that I get to be one of those people. And it's amazing. It's really it's good. And like, the fact that everyone's very supportive of everything. Like, it's not like I'm getting like bullied on the internet. You're all very nice. But I had like a couple good years, and then like something sprung back up, I guess.
I have every reason to unalive myself for years now, never did and got over it. I genuinely feel like I can help you better than a therapist.
Oh, let me clarify. I have no reason to do that. My experience with depression has been more like stable and unreasonable. It doesn't make sense. None of it does. It doesn't need a good reason. The way I described it to a therapist once, this was the line that made her cry, so I'll try it on you. I described the idea of being either attempting or being as like, it's almost as if your legs are on fire. It's almost as if all of your clothes are suddenly on fire now. There's no reason they are. There's no one that ran up to you and lit your clothes on fire or poured gasoline on you, but they're on fire now. I don't know about you, but in my mind, if I'm suddenly on fire, I'm not thinking, oh man, how could I prevent this from happening in the future and have a calm, rational reaction about it? I go, I'm on fire! This sucks! I'm gonna myself, dude. That's how you just want to put the fire out. Your immediate number one priority is putting that fire out, and that's how I've described the mental health side of it. I don't know why it pops up. It sometimes does, and sometimes you just want to let the fire consume and stuff. That was my analogy for chat. The whole stop, drop, and roll thing, and let it happen. That was my analogy for offing yourself. That was the whole, you want to put the fire out, you can put the fire out really quickly, but you shouldn't. It's, you need to go about it a bit more easily. You just have to understand your autism. Motherfucker, we are far past that. But yeah, oh well, I'm working on it now. But part of the reason why I didn't stream was I felt like I couldn't really talk about anything. Like, I briefly mentioned it. I streamed when, on the breakup or whatever. I think I'd said before, like, how hard it was to to have this sort of thing where I'm mostly just yapping. I'm talking about my life and stuff, and it's not like I have this big character that's completely separate from myself. I just talk about my life. But I couldn't because it affects too many people, and it's also a little sad, I guess. There's a lot of stuff that's just like, oh Finn, how come you're acting weird? I tried to yesterday, there's I can't just say that as a thing, and it's a lot of the reason why I've said there's a lot of stuff I can't talk about all the time. I don't know if there's a compilation of I can't say. I'm fine, by the way. Jesus, please do not call I'm fine. Trauma time, I'll give you a whole story, okay? This one's a bit of a story, so bear with, okay? Around a year or so ago, I guess I can be blunt about this. I tried to it got fairly bad, and I attempted twice. There's a decent amount of streamers, and I think everyone sort of remembers Wreckful and everything, that have a lot of mental health struggles, and I was not immune to that. It wasn't through streaming, it was just how I was. I've always been just depressed. It's just been a thing, right? I've gotten pretty used to being depressed, because it's been a thing since 2015, so it's been a decade, nearly. I don't know why people don't talk about it. I guess it's a bit hard. To be honest with you, I was just really scared that you guys would be freaked out. I don't know why, because now I'm saying it doesn't make a lot of sense. But I don't know. We'll see after I'll check Twitter after I stream. If I'm going to talk about this at length, I will say stuff has got better and changed and everything. I'm not doing amazing, but I'm not, which is good. I'm not so me is I'm living the dream. Maybe HRT's fucking you up. Don't try and theorize on it because that's insane. But yeah, I've done just about everything. I've had before I went on antidepressants, or before I did the attempt, I did the whole list. I did exercise, I go out on walks, drink enough water, see friends and everything. I did everything. Go to therapy, go to get my diagnoses and everything. The reason why I was getting that's the reason why I ended up getting an autism diagnosis and ADHD was just because I was getting checked out because of a mental health thing. HRT messed up my mental state. Honestly, HRT made mine a lot better. On that day, I decided that the way I was going to go out was a bunch of opiates and some sleeping pills. And I was writing my notes to everyone. Oof. And I got to my mom. I hadn't taken the I hadn't taken the opiates yet. I just had the sleeping pills. I didn't think that would do it. And but I wrote her name down, and then I stopped. I didn't, which was good. I'm glad. I had to tell my mom about that. Telling you isn't as hard. I don't know if any. But yeah, sorry, it's heavy. But while it's hard to talk about, it's not something that I'm not okay with talking about. It's just, it's just hard. It's a memory. But yeah, holy shit. Good God, I can relate. It's not easy. No. But yeah, telling everyone that I made a note for, and just my, circle in general, everyone reacted so differently. Which, honestly, that was so no one reacts the same. Which is nuts. I don't, obviously, this isn't really something that I hope that you guys ever get to experience, but, everyone reacts very differently when you tell them about that. Some people were very understated about it. They're very, they didn't, you could tell it was, a lot to them, and they kind of went, okay, I got it, I'm here for you, sort of thing. And some people were, they wanted to be around me all the time and make sure I was fine. And then some people were mad. Those are the ones that I remember the most. I don't know if you've, dude, being yelled at. You know how nuts that is? It made a lot of sense, in all fairness, but I guess I'd never seen someone take on, a lot of mental burden in one phone call, and just seen how, a bunch of different people react to the same information. Some people really get, mad, they're, that's fucked up. No, it wasn't at all. It wasn't fucked up. It made a lot of sense. Yeah, I mean, mad in the sense of, they went, why would you not tell me, I'm your friend? Why didn't you ask when you reach out? Because I don't. But it's odd how people react differently. But trust me, I'm okay with talking about it. They were angry that nearly happened. I'm not surprised at all. We're done now, by the way. There we go. I lived. That's about it. That's the end of the story, really. I'm fine-ish. I'm working on it. The tank stuff. That still bothers me so much. I really dislike when people bring up stuff with tank, because if there's a thing that's going to get me to cry, it's that. Obviously, I don't get the idea that I'm not in the thing of I'm depressed or sad. I'm gonna get an animal, and that's gonna fix me. That wasn't what I did. But Tank not being here was because I was getting really scared that, like, if someone was gonna find me, it would be Tank. If I'm... Ugh, Jesus, if I'm being honest. But, and I said that in the stream, I was like, oh, I thought my mental health was gonna go quite bad, and I thought something bad was gonna happen. But yeah, I didn't want that to be a thing. But, okay, now we're done. Now we're done. Now we're done. Because that one sucks. I'm not gonna talk about that one. That one sucks. But okay, we're done with that. It's doing porn and depression a bad mix. You know, weirdly, it was quite helpful. It was actually really fun. It was nice. It was like a feeling, you know, like, you know, I get a little, what's it? Some external praise, some feeling desirable, feeling pretty, getting no gender dysphoria, just gender euphoria. But yeah, no. You know, I thought, oh my god, I thought I'd take that to the grave. Nearly did. No, okay, I thought I wouldn't tell people about that, I guess. But I have now. That felt nice. Okay, fine. We're up to date. I can be cringe again.